Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. In today's video, we're going to talk about a few things that you must avoid when using heat transfer vinyl, or also known as HTV. So let's get started with this episode. First on the list, and the most obvious one, is not following the instructions. What do I mean by that? Making sure that you use the right temperature, right pressure, right type of garment, all that very crucial information to make sure that the vinyl will last a long time. If you're going to be using Caesar Easy Weed, it is very easy to find that information. Just go to Google and type it in. Something I want to talk about is the color guide for Caesar Easy Weed. Not only will you get a sample of all the colors available, but you will also get samples for all the materials available. They have glitter vinyl, all kinds of cool materials. You will also get the instructions for each material. If you want to get one of these or any of the materials that we're going to talk about, just go to our website, that is www.rdidecals.com, or you can just go to the first comment. That's where we're going to have the links to the materials and the equipment. Another thing that you must avoid is using cheap materials. I know that I can find something even cheaper than Caesar Easy Weed. If you get a good amount, you will end up paying about $2 per square foot. So that's not very cheap. But as we always say, we are always looking for good quality products and not for the cheapest one. Now, I'm not saying that we are not looking for better prices. Of course we are, just like everybody. But as the saying goes, you get what you pay for. So always keep that in mind. If you're going to be heat pressing t-shirts using heat transfer vinyl, of course, we always talk about investing in a good heat press. Up here we have the Hotronic 16x20. This can be a little pricey, but it's totally worth the investment. Also make sure that you get a pillow to get a firm pressure every time, and a Teflon cover or Teflon sheet. You will definitely need to get those two materials. Before we keep on going, if you are liking this video, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you want to support us additionally, remember that we have memberships available. Just go to the join button and you will see all the options available. Thank you so much for your support. And the next thing to avoid is do not layer HTV or heat transfer vinyl. According to Caesar Easy Weed, since the material is so thin, you can layer the vinyl. But not because you can, it means that you should do it, and here's a perfect example of that. Here I have 3 different shirts that we made at different times. The gray one, this is a very old one, as you can see by the look at the logo. This one, we made it afterwards, and this is one of the most recent ones. And as you can see, this one is missing all the letters because we decided to go ahead and layer the vinyl. So what's the option if you have a design that has a whole bunch of colors or pictures? Well, I'm glad that you asked. This is what you can do. An option is to outsource transfers. I'm talking about the DTFs transfers, to be more specific. We have been using these materials for a few months and we are very happy with the results that we've been getting when using this material. And now that we are talking about transfers, you can also get the screen printed transfers, especially the one color value. One thing that I gotta mention though is that this works especially if you have a big order, and the same thing with the other material, the DTF transfer. It becomes more affordable if you have a bigger quantity. We have videos where we talk about them in detail, so make sure you check out our channel to watch those videos, and you can get these transfers from ProWorldInc.com. Now let's go back to our t-shirts, and I'm going to start with the very old one. I'm not kidding you guys. I think I've had this shirt for almost 2 years. I wash it at least once a week, and we use the Caesar Easy Weed, all one color, and this is the best thing that you can do if you want your material to last a long time. Only do one color. Do not layer it if you want this to last a long time. I really like the way it's been wearing off. I mean, it makes it look like screen printing almost. The t-shirt is 100% polyester. I want to talk about this one now. Here we layer the YouTube letters and they're completely gone. I think I've only had this for about a year. Honestly guys, the material lasted long enough, but if you want this to last even longer, these letters were applied exactly the same time. but look at them. They're breaking from here, but it's not in that bad of a shape. I could apply the play button or the letters back, but I mean, your customer's not gonna be able to do that because he's not gonna have a heat press or a vinyl cutter. He wouldn't be your customer if he did. The best thing that I could have done, simplify the image like the YouTube letters and then just apply it. Sometimes you can see when it doesn't fit 100%, because remember that when you apply a layer and then you try to apply the second one, usually the first one shrinks a little bit. It won't be 100% match, but I mean, it's better than having your letters come off or whatever you apply as a second layer. Here we have an option if you have a design with more than one color. I know sometimes it's not gonna be possible to make them like this, but if you want the vinyl to last a long time, this is what you can do. We get the nice little effect, even though it's all one colors, like the brothers section is one color, and we didn't layer this. I know this is gonna last a long time. If you decide to layer the vinyl, just keep in mind the garment's gonna be a lot heavier. And the last thing that you must avoid is trying to use all the colors from the original design. What do I mean by that? You can always give your customer the option to use just one color, and here's a perfect example of that. It doesn't matter if you decide to use heat transfer vinyl or if you decide to use screen printed transfers. You can always save time and money by doing all one color, and you'll be surprised to learn that most of the customers are going to be okay, especially when they hear that they're going to get a better deal because you're going to save time and money by only using one color. Before we go, remember that we have memberships available if you want to use the decal calculator to come up with estimates for your customers, for your car decals. We also have the design frame and all different tools available to premium members, or we have other memberships available. If you want to get more information, just click on the join button and just look at the prices and the options that you get. Thank you so much for your support.